that the Eurogroup and Greece have endeavored to begin technical talks between the teams from Greece on the one hand and from the institutions on the other, in order to establish common ground for going from the existing program to what we would like to consider as a new contract between Greece and Europe for the purposes of ending the Greek crisis and stopping part of your news bulletins.
And what about the main issues between the European Union and Greece about extending the bailout program and economic reforms? Any progress on that?
Well, first we have to establish the premise that there is a program. Our government was elected in order to challenge the very logic of it, because in our estimation it has failed. We need to respect the rules and regulations of the European Union, of the Eurozone, but at the same time we need to move forward. We need to move forward to a new compact, a new contract between us and Europe that works, so that Greece grows, recovers, manages to repay all its debts, and, very importantly, we address the humanitarian crisis that the last 5 years of dithering and false medicine has given rise to.
Is this a breakthrough in your opinion?
This is no time to celebrate. It is time to consolidate. It is time to establish a very good, constructive working relationship. It's the beginning of a road that we should have taken some time ago, so that the interests of the average European, not just the Greeks, not just the Dutch, the average European, are served to the best of our abilities. This is what politicians were elected to do, to serve the interests of Europe and of the average European. And we should get down to the work for doing it.
Okay, Mr. Varoufakis, there's no deal yet, so let's go back to last night, because there was no official joint statement following that meeting. Why not?
Well, you know how Europe works. You have 19 ministers of finance with 19 perspectives. Composing a joint text that satisfies everyone's perspective on what was said during that meeting is not an easy deed. In the end, we've come to this joint declaration by Mr. Dijsselbloem and my Prime Minister. And, well, let me add a little bit more to it than that. There are two principles here that need to be accommodated. The first principle is that you have an existing agreement between Greece and Europe. It's an agreement that our party, me personally, for 5 years have been disputing the logic of. But nevertheless, it's valid and it should be respected. But then there's another principle. There's a new fact on the ground. We have a new government with a completely different view on what this program should be. So when you have two competing and conflicting principles, what does the democracy do? It finds a way of finding a compromise, of wedding one with the other. And this is what we're in the process of doing, as we ought to.
But the Financial Times reported that there was a joint statement that you agreed to, but it was vetoed by your Prime Minister, Mr. Tsipras.
Well, you know, even the finest newspapers sometimes fall prey to rumors, innuendo, and leaks that in the end mislead them. This was such a case, I'm afraid, in the case of the Financial Times report. I'm not interested in looking into the past and telling you exactly what happened, but let me be categorical. That particular report was false.
Yeah, but your German colleague, Mr. Wolfgang Schäuble, already left the building last night thinking that there was a joint statement. So something went wrong.
Well, I have no idea what Dr. Schäuble thought when he left. We haven't had a chance to talk about this. But look, this is all water under the bridge. What matters now is that we politicians do our job, and that is to find common ground in order to be able to forge a new relationship that actually works. And as I said before, my dream as the Minister of Finance of this country is to take the Greek crisis out of the headlines simply by dissolving it, by making it go away. And the only way of making it go away is by returning this Greece to growth, to fiscal sustainability, and to a state that resembles normality again.
The Eurozone countries want Greece to honor the bailout agreement and to accept the last part of the 7 billion euros. Is that an option for you, still?
I think that we should not concentrate on the means, we should concentrate on the ends. The end is to put Greece back on the path of growth, and as I said before, to make it, put us in a position where we can repay our debts and serve our people. That is what matters. So far, let me say, so far, for the last 5 years, we've been extending and pretending. We've been extending the crisis and pretending that it went away through more and more loans, without reforming properly, without looking at the